Hello, everyone. This is the Revolutionary Think Tank podcast. If this is your first time here, this is a podcast about political commentary, a sprinkling of philosophy, organizing psychology, and revolutionary thinking. My name is 4AS, and this is my co-host, Mr. E. So, Mr. E, how are you going today?
I am very well, 4IS. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm going pretty good. And of course, our other co-host, Kareem the Dream, our resident AI explorer. How are you going today, mate?
Good, good. Still exploring AI. Still keen to hear about the lipstick effect.
Oh, yes. Well,
That's
thank you
apparently
for
supposed to be in my wheelhouse, but I haven't heard of it before, so I'm glad to hear this explanation.
As our AI explorer, thank you for prompting today's topic, which is, yes, the lipstick effect. Actually, this was one that my partner got into my radar because we were walking past all the pop mart shops that have popped up here in Sydney, and like
The
I kind
what
of
shops?
pop mart.
What's
So,
Pop Mart?
They're like pop-up
well,
stores, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, but like they're specifically for these Labubu, uh, like they're basically Chinese Funko Pops. And like I looked at them and I'm like, what the hell is this? And she goes, oh yeah, those are the new Labubus. And we were just talking, and then she kind of casually mentioned the lipstick effect. So I'm like, what's that? And she just looked at me and she's like, wait, aren't you the budding economist? What's going on here? And I was like, oh, come on, I don't know every single concept. But she goes, all right, I'll
Why
explain it
not?
to you. And like it's and like basically what it is it's the what the lipstick effect is that it's a counterintuitive consumer trend where during times of economic downturn or financial hardship, people tend to spend more on small luxury items like lipstick rather than big ticket items. The term was popularized during the early 2000s recession and has since been observed in various economic crises. The underlying psychology is rooted in emotional coping and aspirational behavior. Why people feel financially constrained or uncertain about the future, they often seek affordable ways to boost their mood or maintain a sense of normalcy and self worth. A luxury lipstick, for instance, offers a relatively inexpensive indulgence that still feels like a treat or a status symbol. Now, why I kind of want to draw it back to the whole Labubu, like Chinese Funko Pop thing is that people have, like, the reason why people got involved in it is a lot of Gen Z pop stars are into it, like Blackpink and all of that. And not only that, people have been found to be speculating on them. So basically, on selling these Labubus
Okay.
for like thousands of dollars. And the, the kind of my thesis that I want to talk about today is, well, look, this is an ordinary economic term, and as it says, it's like you would think in the kind of traditional economic frame of supply and demand that in a recession or at least in a cost of living crisis like we are now, you would expect, demand to go down, spending to go down, but the lipstick effect shows that people, you know, want to focus on, small luxury items rather than, I don't know, maybe going to a concert or maybe having a flight and going on a holiday with your family. But all of that kind of explains around the big C word, which is capitalism, where like, can't you just say that we're getting close to a recession and we're getting to the boom and bust cycle of capitalism and people are feeling the pinch,
Hmm.
that they feel much more comfortable, I guess, speculating on um, Labubus compared to, I don't know, going on a trip overseas with their family. And I kind of want to compare this to the whole GameStop speculation that happened, and how with GameStop before, it was kind of a joke, but now it's people are legitimately speculating on these kind of small luxury items, and it's just an interesting turn of events.
But like GameStop was a joke, though, right?
Yeah,
It was a joke. It was like a big in joke.
Initially, and then it became a big fuck you to Wall Street.
Yeah, yeah. But like that was part of the joke, though, right? The fuck you to Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but like I guess
In the beginning, they probably didn't take it that seriously, but like, until
But then like
hang on, we can actually do something with this. Like,
right,
But,
and that was the power of the consumer class versus big finance, right? Like they all had a stake, an emotional.
technically, they were investors. Like they weren't really consumers in that.
But like they were investors who had a sentimental or a nostalgic attachment to GameStop because they must have played games when they were kids or younger or something like that. Or they probably still do.
You don't know why anyone would invest.
No, but like these people were conglomerating on like Reddit, on like some subreddit or something like that, and they were like, "Hey man, remember GameStop?" Like kind of thing, and then like that was like part of the nostalgia effect or something, right?
I'm sure it worked that way for some of them. So, but yeah. Yeah,
I guess what I'm driving at is, well, the famous quote is, "The first time is a tragedy, the second time is a farce." And I guess this is kind of an inverse of that, is that the first time was a farce and the second time is a tragedy. Because like if you speculate on the first one because it's like fuck you Wall Street, and then the second time you're like, oh, I must afford this stuff and the cost of living crisis and my rent's going up. Let me kind of scab and sell this limited edition Labubu just so I can get some extra line of income so I can afford
that's
things.
why people are speculating on it. They're like investing in Labubus.
There could be like a whole bunch of reasons why. I mean, I'm sure you'll find like professional investors see all they see is profit margin, and they're like, if I speculate on the correct Labubu, I stand to make a lot of money. So this is strictly a financial like interest to me. I'm sure you would find people that but those are probably the major players in that market for Labubus.
What they basically say here is that some Labubu figures resell for hundreds or some Labubu figures resell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The speculative aspect adds a layer of economic fantasy, the idea that a small package might turn into a valuable asset, much like rare sneakers or Pokemon cards.
Okay.
Because I think the whole thing with Labubu as well is that it's basically like a mystery box. And it's like, what are you going to get?
So like, think about it. Like, let me put my capitalist hat on.
Do it.
Let's. How much are these boxes each?
I have to look into it, but like, they're supposed to be like Funko Pops, where it's like, we're talking $20-$30.
$20? Yeah. Okay. If I buy 1,000 boxes at $20, what are the chances that I land one of these special figurines that makes up for the purchase and possibly get some profit on top? If I nail two, that's extra profit. That's out of it. Like, that's how investors think. Like, so like you can see where the payoff from the speculation is. Like you get a potentially solid financial return, but you also get that thrill of holy shit, I just found something, you know. So and he did it it's like a person that buys 1 million lottery tickets. Like it's a similar sort of mentality. They're just trying to increase their chances of hitting the jackpot or getting a lucky prize.
But like these Labubu people, like are they compensating for something for us? That's the phenomenon you were talking about before. Like,
well, yes,
like the actual, not the investors that like see this stuff going off and they're like, oh shit, I can make money out of this. But like the actual people that are like, I don't know, feeling the pinch of the cost of living crisis or something, they are investing in these things. Sorry, they're buying these things because they can't afford other stuff. And so they're buying little things like retail therapy-esque purchases that make them feel good. And then they might be lucky if they go up in value or something. Is that?
Yeah, like basically the whole point of the lipstick effect is that, well, you feel like a holiday or something that you would consider a luxury purpose, once every now and again. That is unattainable because the cost of living crisis means just, getting your groceries causes emotional stress to you on the daily basis.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, I can't afford going on a holiday. So, hey, the new trends because Blackpink or Dua Lipa or Rihanna likes a Labubu, so I might as well get one as well.
Right.
Because, I'm in with the trend.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole point of the lipstick effect is that you kind of compromise on what you would traditionally want, which is, a holiday or going to see a musical or the opera, I guess.
How bougie.
Or compared to, getting these lipstick-esque items.
Yeah.
Can I expand on what you were saying? Just sort of explain why this theory makes sense to me. You called it a coping strategy earlier, which just fits the description perfectly to me, because the way I figure it is, like for the most part, like people either want to maintain their quality of life or improve it. Like there isn't anybody who's looking forward to a deterioration in the quality of life. So like when there is a cost of living crisis and people do start having to like pinch pennies, the question is, okay, what's the cheapest possible way for me to feel as though I'm still maintaining that quality of life? That could be part of it. I think another part of it is literally like the anxiety itself from the cost of living can lead people to requiring a coping strategy. Like coping strategies pop up for absolutely everything. Like, not all of them are healthy. Some of them are adaptive, some of them are maladaptive. So it depends on the situation.
I think this also ties into the whole like treat yourself like mentality, because like when people get stressed out, like just with life in general, like you like, I don't know, maybe this is just something I've heard, but I've just genuinely heard people be like, oh, I'll just go treat myself, and like when you treat yourself, you're not necessarily, or you're in that kind of mentality, you're not necessarily going off and buying a car. You're going off and I guess getting quick dopamine hits to make yourself feel good. So I think maybe that's what this lipstick effect economic term is kind of, driving at.
Nailed it. Yeah. No, absolutely.
And like with the big C word that you used before, like you can directly relate it to how this mode of production works, because like we live in a society now where we have quite sophisticated means of production, and so like a large part of capitalism from like the end of the war, you could argue, like easily argued from before that, but let's say the end of the Second World War, has been like, we've got massive manufacturing and production capacity, and we produce potentially more than there is consumer demand, or at least we produce more than we can easily distribute across the entirety of the human race. And so we have a limited consumer class and a lot of stuff. And so a big part of capitalism, which has always been there, is the manufacture of needs, wants, and desires. And like, just watch a series like Mad Men or something like that. Like a large part of the story of later stage industrial capitalism is producing a lot of shit and then trying to figure out through clever advertising or marketing strategies, and just like brainwashing people, let's be honest, from the time they're small children, hitting them with like ads and stuff like that to make them really good consumers. And so like, I think humans especially in like the world today, like our generation and the generations below us, they are well trained at having a positive physiological response, whether that's being the release of like some type of chemical or something like that. But they associate pleasure with purchasing and consumption. And so like, if you're in a situation where you are living through some type of crisis or something like that, whether that's a cost of living crisis or a general financial crisis, where like, you know, capital or spare money is hard to come by. And so you have to denigrate the level of your purchases to match the tough times, still being able to, you know, find a little purchase here and there to get that that therapy, as I was saying before, that retail style therapy that makes you feel like you're still a part of the system, because like you're consuming something, whether it's just small, and it might be something that potentially this little mystery box might end up making you money and helping you relieve your stressful circumstances, because like it's just, you've just had a bit of a win. It's like gambling and buying something that makes you feel good kind of thing. Like it's like, it's the ultimate package. Like it's the gift that keeps giving, like kind of thing. Like this is really, it's really like a part of the psychological warfare of capitalism.
I'm just thinking as well, like it's almost like a perverse Charlie and the Chocolate Factory golden ticket. Like, you know, it's like, I gotta get this special edition Labubu, otherwise I won't be able to survive the week. Like it does seem like something. It sounds like something out of Black Mirror, eh?
Well, like a little bit. Like it's pretty fucked up. Like basically, what I'm saying is like, we live in a time now where like people are struggling, struggling more, or like actual struggling. Like it depends, I guess, on personal circumstances. But like people still are like, gotta buy something, man, like kind of thing. You know, like that's a hardcore cognitive dissonance to live with. You know, like when you know you like, fuck, I probably should save that or like buy groceries or something like that. But like this little plastic toy mystery box from China is just going to make me feel, oh God, that feels good. I better buy another box, like kind of thing. It's pretty crazy. Like,
good thing we have a psych student with us.
Yeah. Let's
be able to explain to us cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance rundown. Believing in two conflicting things and holding them both to be true, but not trying to trying to. I'm screwing up this explanation there.
But like it tears you apart though as well, right? Doesn't that like
it's something like you can't actually reconcile the difference between the two things that are contradictory. Like for like the example that was used in class when it was explained to me was smoking.
Yeah.
I'm a smoker. I also value my health. Technically, those two things are contradictory.
Yeah.
So the question is, all right, how can you smoke if you value your health? One can't be true if the other is true. That's where the cognitive dissonance comes from. So there's another. Have you guys heard of dialectical thinking? Because it's related.
Well,
would you explain it?
I don't know. Have Marxists heard of dialectical thinking?
I think they have.
Go for a bit. What do you think it is?
Why don't you give us the explanation for dialectical thinking then?
Yeah, come on, Forrest. Give us your dialectics.
Well, it's basically about you have two opposing thoughts, and once you kind of analyze the contradictions within them, you come to the synthesis as to the conclusion of that thing. So, I guess the like a classical thinking of that of that being is, well, let's kind of use the example that you were using is, okay, I'm a smoker. I kind of value my health. Is once you kind of analyze that contradiction, is it because you're a gym junkie and you value your health in most things, but maybe not in this one aspect, because when you were a kid you wanted to smoke because you thought it was cool? Like, are there avenues in order for you to give up smoking if you think that might be better for your health? Like, it's in analyzing that cognitive dissonance that you can reach some sort of synthesis of, okay, maybe I can smoke less, or maybe I can do nicotine patches, that sort of thing.
Let me give you my take on it. I agree with it for the most part, and I could be wrong on this, but let me share it with you anyway. With cognitive dissonance, it is a source of distress. Like, it is something that a person might be actively trying to work out in their head and unable to reconcile, so it distresses them. My understanding of dialectical thinking is the dissonance itself, like, you need to be aware of it, but it doesn't necessarily need to be resolved. Like, and the reason I say that is because the person is able to hold some level of uncertainty about their beliefs. Like, they're able to reconcile it to a place where they can entertain both possibilities as being true at the same time, without the need to sort of, like, I'm probably rambling a bit too much on this one, but
no, but like,
isn't you like there's that element of uncertainty that the person's sort of made their peace with, like, they don't.
Yeah, but I thought at least my understanding of it is that you entertaining it and you kind of finding the nuance within the situation. Like, sure, you mightn't go as far as to say, I'm going to do nicotine patches and cut down my smoking.
But the resolution of dissonance, right, sort of the analytical way of doing it is that,
right,
you're probably going to arrive at one or the other. Using the smoking analogy, where I make a decision to get nicotine patches, technically I'm giving up on being a smoker if I go down that route. So I'm making the adjustment from one belief to the other. So like I'm planting a flag in one of the camps.
Yeah, true.
So dialectical thinking involves being able to still hold both of those things as being true, but still, like, letting go of the need for certainty on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily sticking your head in the sand, because, like, you do need to be aware of it, but you're at least able to hold them in balance, like.
Yeah, but my understanding was, like, the comfort is kind of the synthesis, right? Like, because
the resolution is the synthesis.
Resolve it without dialectical thinking. Like not all dissonance has to be resolved with dialectical thinking. Like,
right, yes.
But, like, why did you bring up, like, because we talked about cognitive dissonance in the context of, like, this, like, retail therapy style solution to one's consumer proclivities. But, like, why did you bring up dialectical thinking?
I think where it came from was we were trying to reconcile, okay, the cost of living crisis, I need to pinch pennies, but at the same time I need to feel good as well. How do you resolve that? Well, you go for the item with the biggest bang for your buck. So the biggest bang for your buck, theoretically, it's cheap, gives you that dopamine hit. And at the same time, if you can tick the potential investment box as well, like, winner.
Yeah, winner. Yeah, if you come out on top, then, like, it wasn't
I got the dopamine hit
and I'm winning. Yeah. I got the short term and the long term both in one. I walk away like a champion, and then I buy 1,000 more Balulus or whatever they're called. What are they called?
Yeah, I'm just imagining like the gnome meme from South Park, where it's like Labubu's, and he stands in the middle and it's got a bunch of question marks, and then the third one, which is profit.
Yeah.
But I think dialectical thinking and like the cognitive dissonance that we're kind of displaying for is kind of the direction I was going with, that I kind of mentioned at the start, because I kind of think the lipstick effect is just a kind of alternate way or a discourse without saying the big C word. And like, let's compare it with something like techno-feudalism, because really when we think about it, something like techno-feudalism is, the value within capitalism, rather it being the value within commodities. The value now is within data, and the tech bros are creating their own fiefdoms in Facebook, Amazon, blah 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 blah, and that's like a new way of doing a Marxist critique. Whereas something like the lipstick effect is reframing things of like, okay, there's this counterintuitive hyper consumerism within society. Like, how can we explain this reoccurring phenomena? And at least I kind of feel like in the techno-feudalism aspect of things, it's at least trying to resolve that dialectical thinking, if you will. Whereas the lipstick effect is kind of trying to increase that cognitive dissonance, where it's like, no, it's not capitalism. It's that people don't understand this hyper consumerism. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that but between there are a whole bunch of different types of consumer goods that could take the potentially investment category as well. So I don't think it's sort of limited to Labubus, and I think it's been around for a while. Like anytime there's been like trading cards and memorabilia.
Oh no, I want to make clear, it's just the Labubu is the latest trend of that sort of thing. That's kind of the reason why it was called the lipstick effect, because ladies were buying luxury lipstick during these economic downturns.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay. So like the aspect of it where you could potentially make money off it, probably overlaps with the lipstick effect on this particular item. But the lipstick effect would apply to other items as well. It would apply to lipstick as well. So like there would be a whole bunch of other consumer goods that sit in that category of cheap but gives me a dopamine hit. So it wouldn't be restricted, and not all you're not going to find the antique lipstick and go sell it. Like, I could be wrong on that, but
I don't know. I'm sure the Antique Roadshow might have something to say about that.
What did you say about my lipstick?
But sorry, what were you saying, Craig?
But yeah, look, I think the hyper consumerism that you're describing, I think definitely fuels that. I think that's part of it. It makes it more acceptable for you to get your dopamine hits from shopping, because it's not just you, like everybody's doing it. So in terms of like as a coping strategy though, for whatever distress you could be feeling, like coping strategies like pop up in response to some type of discomfort or distress. Now that may be related to cost of living, it might not be though. So I mean, I'm sure they've got sophisticated models in terms of like how they actually go about measuring this stuff, but I'd argue it wouldn't be true across the board. Like, have you got any statistics on like how many people it affects or anything like that? Like, I'm
You
sure that
mean
there's a percentage of the
comparing?
population that'd be immune to this. Like, they're just like, nah, pennies are tight. I'm not spending shit. Like,
At least not from the research that I've done. Like, I haven't looked into any graphs of like comparison of, I guess, the amount of consumerism based on, I don't know how, like whether the economy is within an economic downturn or not. Like compared to whether it's on the verge of a recession or within a recession.
yeah,
But they just said like the the general effect of the lipstick effect is the more hyper consumerist like I guess a society gets based on, you know, at what stage they are at the economic downturn. So I guess what it's trying to say is the current version of the lipstick effect is the reason why the pop marts are popping up popping up everywhere is because people feel like they can't go on a holiday, they can't go go on what they believe to be a luxury item during a boom period of the economy, compared to now when it's a bust.
So this is like real free market capitalism at its finest, right? Like this is the market responding to a phenomenon. Yeah, like right.
Shop.
Yeah,
Set up shop and take advantage of this.
Yeah, like look at these suckers that are like renting out real mall space, paying high rents for that shit. People can't buy their designer goods right now. I'm just going to have a little pop-up store here, and people, because this is all they can afford right now and all they can get satisfaction out of, I'm going to capitalize on this, like this downturn. This is proper free market, wild capitalism.
But part of it, forgive me for saying it. I'm not entirely sure how like the pop-up stores work, but my guess at it would be that like you pay you pay rent for a really short period of time, and then you take your stuff down.
Let me also bring into context, like, you know, whenever I've been in the CBD or anything like that, usually the only brands that do pop-up stores tend to be your most successful ones. So your Nespressos, your like really well-established franchises. Like those are the ones that do the pop-up stores.
But have those shops got their own retail stores that operate full-time, or?
Well, yeah, I think like the whole point of it is that you kind of have an actually established store nearby, because I don't know, maybe they don't keep stock on hand. So if you have a store that's near you, like, I'm kind of speculating here.
Yeah, but like they're like setting up pop-up. This is what I'm saying. This is like really dynamic free market.
That's
like
where
behavior.
I was going with it.
They're like
minimal risk involved in short out rent. I don't know, well, a week or two of rent or something like that. And like just pocketing the profits, like
like I've spent a lot of time in government planning departments and stuff like that, and the level of detail in terms of how they design a shopping center or a retail space, indoor, outdoor, whatever, to get the right and perfect amount of foot traffic past the store to maximize sales and like return on investment and all that sort of stuff is incredible. But like these people are abandoning their own retail floor space to like pop up a store like in like a very kind of quick turnover way to catch the extra flow of traffic that flows through on the off chance that they can basically prey upon somebody's instant gratification desires as they struggle through a potential living crisis. This is predatory free market stuff at its finest. It's incredible.
Outraged by this.
No, it's incredible. This is like how the free market should work. Like, this is what neoliberals and all that sort of stuff, free, like real free market libertarians argue for. They're like, cull the regulation, screw the need for retail space and planning rules and like, regulations around like what shops, like how long terms and leases should be arranged for. Just pop up when the market's good and then off when you're done. Like that's as free market as you can get. That's libertarianism right there.
Found the efficiency, didn't they?
They have. They have.
Spotted the gap.
Yeah.
The extra profit they could be making instead.
Yeah, so then you have to ask yourself then, all right, Kareem, let's take that again to its logical conclusion. Has the lipstick effect then been manufactured like people like Nespresso and Labubu and all that sort of stuff, being like, we know people can't afford this shit right now, so they're not going to walk into my store. So let's put it right in their face, right in the center of a thoroughfare. So they just like, it's right there. They just have to be confronted with, and they're like, fuck it, I'm buying a Labubu. I'm buying an espresso.
Sure, it doesn't sound
I must have the Labubu and my George Clooney coffee. Sorry. Yo, what were you saying, Crew?
I was saying it doesn't sound that predatory when they think about it in their heads. Like it's just the way you're framing it.
Yeah, whatever, man. They call it good business. I call it predatory. Hey, potato. I don't care.
To be fair, though, like the way that Mystery has placed it, look, this could just be me with vibes, but like I was in a I was in a Coles in the city recently, and I kid you not, it was basically like a labyrinth of leading up to the counter. We basically went all the way around and all the way around and all the way around just to get to the checkout. But along it was all the chocolates, all the soft drink, all the like impulse buys you could possibly think about. And they made you weave like that all the way to get to the checkout. And I was like, I was like, what? Are they trying to maximize the purchases? Like, why do we have to walk such a long way to get to the checkout? This looks incredibly sus.
I can explain this one to you from an insider perspective, actually.
Okay.
I've had used to own a supermarket, and the amount of effort that like, just put it this way, like, we had like a little convenience store supermarket, and like our shelves like weren't fully stocked all the time, but we would get like suppliers from all different kinds of brands, like coming through and trying to push their stock on us, basically, because like the salespeople, they're there to make sales, so the more orders you place, like, job done. But in order to get their product moving in your store, what they're always going for is they want the prime real estate space in your shop. So that means the stuff that like a person sees when they first go in, like through the entrance, like the first thing they see, and the last thing they see before they walk out, and anything that's around eye level. So eye level is like premium real estate. So if you're stocking their product on the bottom shelf, they want you to move it to eye level. Sometimes they'll even give you a discount, or they'll run promotions or sales just so that they can like clean up that space. They'll even give you free marketing material for it, so you can put up posters and stuff and tags and stickers, and like they put a lot of effort into this. Now, from a store's point of view, you've got to pay rent either way. Yeah. Now, if you're like you're going to have your fixed costs and your variable costs, but in terms of like your fixed cost is your floor space. Why wouldn't you maximize the amount of stock that you can show to your consumers, to your customers, to get the most bang for your buck, on the real estate space? But at the same time, why wouldn't you place your highest selling goods in the places where people are most likely to find them? Like that's what it looks like from the inside. So like your entire experience when you walk through the shop has been curated. Like it's almost a fucking museum. Like, this is why if you walk into a convenience store, like, if you walk into like pretty much any convenience store, the reason why they've got like aisles of things sitting on the counter and like rows of stuff like right up at the front desk is because they're taking every opportunity they can to get that multi-purchase, to get, oh, did you forget something, like grab this as well. But they're also maximizing their floor space.
So can I just say then, can I take it back and just say, I didn't take exception to what you said about my predatory theory before, but like in saying what you just said, like, doesn't it make sense then that these pricks are like, hey, I've got retail floor space over here and no one's coming into it because everyone's a bit tight at the moment. Let me park myself right in front of the thoroughfare that they all walk through. It's the same theory, just not inside the shop, but like taking up every opportunity where people are moving. It's the same bloody thing. I'm, predatory or good business, call it what you want, but like it's pushing stock. It's pushing stock and they're doing it well.
And I just want to butt in there, like that makes it even more hilarious to me about that labyrinth at the Coles, where they've all, like, basically all of these salespeople went to Coles and it's like, hey, I want the front. No, I want the front. It's guys.
Don't like bid over
create a labyrinth, and they have to walk through, and they're all going to be at eye level, and you get what you want.
But like there's wars over this stuff, like supermarket wars over floor space or shelf stuff. Like,
can we not call it a labyrinth though? Can we start calling it the gauntlet? Because like one day I'm going to expect that if I go to like Coles or Woolworths or something like that, and you have to go through that area, they'll actually start hiring people to throw chocolates at you and stuff like that. You're like, there's like literally hitting you in the face. All right, I'll take the chocolate kind of thing. Like that's the next and logical conclusion of all of this sort of stuff.
Mystery will have 50 lashes of chocolate.
Yeah, it's like, oh God.
I know, but it tastes so good.
Hey, I saw you eat that. You have to pay for that. Sorry.
No, it's a cost of living crisis.
Yeah, I think the kids have something to do with that, because when parents take their kids shopping and they're sort of hanging around in the queue, that's when that piece of chocolate is most likely to catch the kids' eye.
So, is there such a distinction as like adult eye level market retail space and kiddie level retail space?
No. I haven't heard anybody going that far.
Yeah, right. Because kids are pretty demanding at the shops.
That sounds genuinely predatory to me.
Hey, don't touch the children. Yeah, okay.
like you're putting stuff at kid eye level,
Bro, come on. Like all the stuff.
I really wouldn't put it past Coles.
Well, I was going to say, like all the stuff we know about the tech bros. Like, look at Meta and all the stuff that they've been caught with. Like, literally, like going after kids online, and like attacking their vulnerabilities and stuff like that, getting data on them and pushing things on them. They've been caught by so many like nation states around the world, and they're just like, can you stop going after our children? They're like, all right, fine, you got us this time, but we'll be back. We'll be back, damn it. Like,
but like even with like, imagine it's like the old school Mad Men, and I just really wouldn't put it past them. It's like, well, we got the eye level for the adults, but what about the children? Like, I really wouldn't put it past them. Are we really maximizing our profits?
Are you smoking yet?
Can I just go back to the Meta thing? I'm dying to share this piece of news. Yeah, apparently Meta is offering salaries to AI researchers of 100 million plus.
What? 100 million?
That's here. 100 million a year plus.
To do what?
AI research.
Fuck, what's an AI researcher? I'm going to go get a job. What?
Yeah. These are the people that are like training up the machine learning models and
damn, 100 million,
and they're the ones that are like that are researching how to get us to AGI. Like,
right,
so
right.
People
right.
AI smarter. So
I'm sorry, but if they're offering 100 million per year, like what sort of what are they expecting, like in terms of the
I don't
turnout?
They're expecting techno-feudalists.
salaries.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like this set off like shockwaves in they were trying to poach OpenAI researchers from what I heard. Um, um, yeah, that's about as far as I got with it. But like they're so determined to get ahead in the AI race that they're just throwing money at it. Like they realize
Wow.
that we need smarter, we need more talent if we want to get ahead in the AI race. We don't have enough talent. I mean,
Wow. They're really throwing everything at this.
yeah, like so. Thought you
Wow.
guys might like to hear that.
Yeah, I do. I do. That's
I heard potentially, I think one of the headlines that my eyes glanced across and didn't click on the link for, said
can you find that link? Can you find that for us if you get a
yeah,
chance?
it showed up on a whole it showed up on a whole bunch of newsletters that I read. So yeah,
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 please, because
wouldn't
I'd
mind.
like to get that in the Discord if I can, because like I want to go
Yeah,
through that with a
yeah,
fine-tooth comb.
yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we're probably finishing up shortly anyway, so I'll do it when we jump off. But yeah, man,
That's
it's
mental.
things
Yeah.
that
I
things
got to
that
admit,
everyone.
Kareem, you're a bit lacking with the propaganda in the Discord. You gotta get those
All
numbers
right,
up.
yeah,
Those are rookie numbers.
you put some capitalist propaganda in there.
Mate, whatever, whatever.
Mix
And
it up a
that,
bit.
mate, $100 million job application. That's some capitalist
Yeah,
propaganda
yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Each one of you will crumble before the 100.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
One thought.
you've heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't see Kareem after this, we know he's landed a job
Oh,
with
got a
Meta.
job at Meta.
and he's going to be the prime funder of our revolution. $100 million. I'll take a tenth of that and start a revolution. Thank you very much. That's all I need.
No, and thanks to Kareem, we're going to buy a piece of land in, off the coast of Honduras, and we're going to start our socialist revolution.
Yeah, that's
You've heard
right.
it here first.
Our own network, state, city, our free city,
I'm sure
prosper.
we'll work it out.
Uh,
And you know what? I thought that was a pretty good discussion today, fellas. And of course, the last section of the podcast, what's that synthwave art? Who wants to have a crack at this one?
yeah.
Lipstick obviously has got to do with it.
It's someone wearing lipstick. And
Is
Okay.
there any prompt with lipstick just turned like hypersexualized?
it looks like the main character, female role from Blade Runner 2049. Is that what you typed in?
Oh.
2049 robot girl with lipstick on. Is that what you did for us?
Well, the prompt for this one is how the lipstick effect encapsulates the boom and bust cycle of capitalism.
Right,
I think it's kind of focused.
I can see I can see the bust, but I can't see the boom. But I like, that was a sculpting joke, by the way.
But like, actually, I didn't think about it until you mentioned it just right now. Yeah, she kind of looks like the chick from 2049.
Yes, she does.
Because like she's also because she's also a hologram. So
Yeah. Oh, she's not really there. She's a hologram.
Oh no. And with that, thank you everyone for tuning in today. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Kareem, thank you for joining us today. And to sign us off, I'm giving it to you, Mystery.
Thank you very much, Farias. And yes, Kareem, thank you. Much appreciated, as always. And to all of you out there, please remember, I am, you are, we are a mystery.